How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is me, Oleg, and this is a new episode on our YouTube channel. Today's episode will be more about the Hyundai Genesis coupe that we're building for drift, and we got the suspension pulled out. It's sitting right here. I'll be working on it right now. The whole rear subframe and everything dropped down. There's some things to do on the front suspension too. I'm still waiting for angle kits and stuff. We do have seats, we do have seat belts, so there's plenty of work to do. So let's put the suspension in the shop and start working on it. So let's go and stay tuned. Alright, so we've got the suspension here at the shop. So what we need to do is we need to take the brake rotors out, brake caliper, everything inside of it, like brake pads for the e-brake and stuff. We'll throw that away. We don't need it for drift. We'll take those shocks out because we have a good coilovers for this thing. And then I'll be installing a dual bracket. So the stuff that we need to finish this suspension is those FDF brackets. You basically take everything out, take the hub out, and this goes between the hub, and it gives you an extra bracket for another brake caliper. I will be installing a Brembo one. It's a stock Hyundai one, so we'll have two Brembos on the back and one set of Brembos on the front. And so this kit is really nice. It's aluminum, it's really light weighted, but I like the thing that it comes with all the hardware and stuff, so you don't need anything to buy anything extra to get it work. So let's get the tools and start working on it. All right, so we need 17 millimeters and the side gun to get this back caliper out. In some application, it's easier to take the shocks first. For that one, I believe you need 19 millimeters. Grab that 19. Not the 19 for the other side, or just any pliers or anything to hold it on the back side. And it's only one bolt, so it's really simple. You take that one bolt out and it's out. So we're not gonna need those springs anymore because I'm using a monotube style coilover this time. I just want to try that something new, and I'll be using a Godspeed coilovers for this thing. I'm not sure if they are as good as CC rating. Probably not, but just wanted to try something new. Okay, after we have that ready, just put those bolts back on the original caliper. Next step will be to remove the brake rotor. There's two bolts here that we need to take off, and then probably get a hammer and just give it a little tap right here. Okay. Once we have this one out, we're taking those brake, what's that called, pads out. It's not a brake pads, it's mostly a brake to do those brake calipers, brake pads, sorry, out. We taking the pliers on the back side. There is like a this little rod goes all the way to the back side. So you're basically clicking on this thing and trying to turn it, because right here, so you can see right here, so basically the spring goes, this goes, and then there's one like a little rod or something. So basically how it works, it just gets in, slides here, and to take it off, it has to go through a hole. If you want to assemble it back, it has to stop like this. It's really simple. Let's do the other side too. Okay, got this side too. Now, next step will be, you can remove both of those at the same time, but I usually like to disconnect one side of this spring that holds those brake pads together. Take this off. It should be coming out really easy. So that one out, basically the whole thing comes off. I also don't need the cable right here that there's the Japanese tensioner. So there's two, I would say 12mm probably, that we need to take off. Alright, so it's not 12, it's 14. It's 14mm. And there's two bolts holding this thing in place. Of course, battery drive. Okay. Have those two bolts out. This thing should just slide out. Sometimes it's a little harder or got stuck. Okay, that's the guy that we don't need anymore. So there's only one thing we need to do before we take the hop off. It's this axle. You need to get this pin out first. You got the pin out. This nut is to come off too. And I believe it's either 30 or 32. So 32mm with the impact. And then you take something like bolt or screwdriver, put it on the center, tap it a couple times, and then once you tapped it, the axle slides to the back, and now we have an access to actually remove all the bolts for the hub. The hub is on a 14mm bolt. I don't recommend removing the bolt completely for the first time, but usually there's a rust right here behind this thing, so I usually recommend just getting it loose a little bit, and then we'll tap on the bolts and this thing will come off. Okay, yeah, as I said, we can give it a little tap right here, but we might damage the bearing. So I just recommend to give it a little tap on the bolts right here, just to have it loose slightly. And I know it's hard, but you're gonna have to try to hammer all the sides. If this goes sideways or something, it's not gonna come off that easy. Alright, So we have it ready. Now we take all 4 bolts out. Okay. This whole thing is ready to be removed. So this is how the disassembled top looks like. So we don't need this shield anymore because it's gonna stay on our way. So we're gonna have to hammer this thing out. So that I need to get the hammer. And it's out. Try to tight a little bit bolts with hand until the bolt actually slides into the threads a little bit, and then you can start tightening it up. But don't go full send on that one side, just a little bit. Now you can get something more powerful than just the ratchet. And tight the whole thing. Don't be afraid to torque this, because this is your brakes, guys, and you're gonna use it a lot, because you're gonna use that e-brake like you're gonna use 100% out of it. So you have to install this sheen back, and then the nut. Don't be afraid if this is not coming all the way out. That's normal, because you extended the backside on a 1/4 of an inch. And I use impact like this thing to align this guy. Okay, now we have to get all this bolt package. We forgot to do one thing. We forgot to put those shims on the back. Those shims have to go on the back of an axle, because it's not gonna let you spin the axle once you tighten it. So once you've got everything removed and you have your coupe, you need this shim to go right here. That's gonna extend 1/4 inch out, and then you're taking this guy, you have to align it a little bit, and this has to this edge has to go in. Alright, now we can start assembling everything back. So we need 2 of those smaller shims, and they will go right here. Now have to install those 2 back. So we have that one installed. Make sure it's not touching anything. So in my case, everything looks good. Now those 2 shims will go over here. I showed you already where. So now you have a longer bolts and shorter bolts. The longer bolts, they will be right here, holding the old bracket, and then the shorter ones will go for the front bracket, which is a new one. So now I take this old bolts out, slide this caliper back in. You see the gap right here? So the gap will be filled with those boys, and then you put one washer right here, and then hand tighten that, and then same thing on the bottom. Grab the other caliper, so two shorter bolts, two washers, and the wrench. Just tighten the bolt. Okay, and now let's reinstall this. Don't slide it all the way out because you're not going to be able to put the nut back on. So now we need two 17 wrenches. Something similar to this. Don't use this side of the wrench, because if you slide it in, you're not going to be able to take it off. I've had that before, so just trust me. Got that done. I'll just leave this sensor here, because I might just build a car like a day lane drift, but it's completely up to you. You don't need this for drift usually, because anyways you unplug the ABS. Alright, so this is the finished product. Now we have to do the same thing on that side. Alright, so we moved the car close to the shop. We have the suspension ready to be installed. So the only thing we need to do is just plug it back in where it's supposed to be at, and then put the coilovers, put the exhaust, connect the drive shaft back, and the rear suspension will be almost ready to go. The only thing we'll need to do is do the brake lines for the other caliper, for the e-brake. And then we'll need to work on the front suspension too. The angle key comes in today, so if it'll come on time, I'll just put it too. And then after that, we'll go to interior. But as of now, let's put the suspension back on, put it on all four wheels, and then we'll move to the front. Alright, so we got the whole rear suspension back on place. Now I want to go ahead and put those coilovers on the back. And this time I've been trying a whole bunch of different ones, and this time I just decided to try a Gusty Mono RS. Those kind of suspension that the Genesis has on stock, they have the spring itself separate and the shock separate. So I just decided to go with something different this time, and we'll see how it's gonna turn. top piece. The bolts for the bottom are in the lower control arm. Does not fit a little bit, so I'm gonna have to get this cross member lowered. And this is not the way it goes. Now, now we're done with the back suspension. We'll move to the front one. So the thing that I want to do now is I'll take this wheel off, and I'll put a Brembo brakes on the front, and then the brake rotors will bleed all the system, brakes and clutch, and after that I'll be able to roll it around, and then I'll install the angle kit on it. We're going to use the SDF angle kit. So let's start. So we get the angle kit, fresh FDF, and I'll be installing it right now. I'll do some presets. I'll do middle point of camber and caster. I'll mount the control arm first, and then we need to put the new hub here. I mean, not a new one, but from the old hub, we need to swap it here. And then after that, we will mount it along with a coilover to the chassis, and then we'll start assembling this thing. Once we finish this one, the car doesn't have a steering rack yet, so I've got a steering rack right here. It's the whole complete swap out of the parts car, so I'll take that one out, I'll use it, and then I'll be using a rotors and front calipers from the suspension too. I might need some bolts, a couple more things, but we got everything we need. And let's start and do as much as we can today. Alright, so it went dark, but we finished the suspension. As you can see, the front is too low, it's scratching the fender, so I'm gonna have to raise the coilover a little bit on both sides on the front. The back looks good, so now I'll go ahead and install the power steering pump and the front hose, the cooling hose. As of now will be a hydraulic, but I'll be moving to electric pump soon. So let's finish this power steering pump. All right, so we have a huge progress done Our front and rear suspension is done set up. We got the power steering rack and pinions installed. We need to do alignment on this thing, put the exhaust back, recheck all the fluids, recheck all the bolts, alignment, and interior is going to be the last part that we need to finish on this project. I apologize for my outfit. I'm not the cleanest now, but it's 10:15 at night, I would say, and for that half a day we definitely did a big progress. Thank you so much for watching, and hope on the next video your guys see the ready project. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave us a comment, what do you think about this build, and see you in the next video. Stay blessed.